you see, what's happening is that NPP is still dazed with their loss. They still cannot come to terms that with all the gymnastics, they still lost this election. And not just losing, but they lost massively. And you can see from my co-panelist's submission that because of the manner in which they are dazed and they cannot believe that today they are in opposition. It was all over, from arrest to galamsey to honeymoon, everywhere. And that shows how they are. If anybody would talk about rule of law, it shouldn't be NPP. If anybody should complain about witch hunting, it shouldn't be NPP. Because they did worse. They did things that the ordinary Ghanaian couldn't believe. If you're talking about honeymoon, it shouldn't be NPP. Because 5 months into governance by the NDC, we have seen how well the city is performing. We have seen that the average Ghanaian is better off today than they were just last year or in December.
Of which the credit should not be given to you, according to the former finance minister?
You know, for these people, every bad thing is caused by...
Economic stability preceded Mahama.
For them, every bad thing is by COVID, Russia, Ukraine, but the good things, they claim ownership. I mean, just before the run-up to the election, you know, they constituted a whole committee to investigate why the city was performing that badly.
The FX committee.
Exactly. A whole committee. Oh. Now you have one man, one man bringing the city from almost 17 cities to $1 to now 10.8 or 10.9. So how can you say that they are honeymooning? Fuel, remember where it was. Today, we've seen a drastic reduction in the amount of fuel per liter. And it has trickled down. The drivers have also reduced the transport fare. Some. That would also, yes, some. That will also trickle down to price of goods and services. And I'm saying that today, the Ghanaian is better off than they were just in December. I won't even say in 2024. In December, they are better off today. Look, if anybody should cry about people arresting in Rambo style, though I don't want to support, you know, people being arrested in Rambo style, but I'm saying that if anybody is to complain, it shouldn't be NPP. Because they did terrible things, even to journalists.
You know,
but all I am saying is that,
sometimes,
you see, the fact is that...
even in the house,
yes,
when babies misbehave, they know that they are misbehaving.
Yes.
So you see that they pause and they look at you and they laugh. It means that even babies, when they are wrong, they know they are wrong. If they are in opposition today and they are criticizing, it means that they admit that if it happened in their administration... No, I'm not saying... They literally did not admit. But if you are criticizing what's happening now, it is only automatic that logically I will assume that you know that if it happened in your administration, it means it was wrong. But that doesn't take away their rights that they can say a word or two if they think it's wrong. Because they know that, yes, it was happening, but it was wrong. Then it can't be right now. You have promised a reset. You can't do the same and say, oh, but you did worse. You understand?
No, you see, I am not trying to support what is happening now. Yes, citizens demand demand that respect when they are being accused of wrongdoing and needs to answer some questions. Arresting somebody in Rambo style, I mean, no Ghanaian would support that. But all I am saying is that if anybody should cry, it shouldn't be NPP because they did worse. But doing worse does not mean that we should do same or we should do something close to what they did. But I am saying that the manner in which they are crying, the manner in which they are going about, you know, giving all kinds of names, they should be the last to do it because they did worse things, even to journalists who were just doing their work. You remember Caleb Kuda, who just went filming, I think it was ambulance or so.
Abandoned vehicles.
And he was arrested and beaten. At that time, they defended it. They said it was national security threat. Today, there's a case in court. The case is being investigated. Somebody is posting videos. Somebody is making utterances to undermine the people who are investigating the case. That is a national threat. Because if you are undermining these people, if the case is ruled, people would interpret that to mean that, oh, the case was ruled probably in favor of one party because of this and that, and that can create a problem. So if the gentleman was invited to come and answer or probably produce the evidence he claimed, he even have more video, I think the last people that should complain should be NPP. Look, we're in this country. When the NPP felt that nobody should accuse them of any wrongdoing, if you complain, they come and pick you up. If they complain, they say they attack dogs after you. So as I said, they should be the last to complain. Now, they should just face the music and should not complain. You remember very well the Akunta mine. The then Minister of Lands and Natural Resources said they did not give licenses to Akunta mine. We had our president then coming to say that Akunta mining did no wrong. I mean, just that statement alone was conclusive to any investigation because the president appointed who was going to investigate the case. And the president is saying that the gentleman has not done anything wrong. So who dare you to go and investigate and show that the gentleman has committed any crime? Remember Cecilia Dapa's case. When the case came and she wrote a resignation letter, the president said that he accepted and said he knows that at the end of the day, she will prove her innocence. That again was a conclusive statement that any investigation should show that Cecilia Dapa did not commit any crime because the president has said so. So if today you have NPP, talking about the fact that, oh, for now, nobody has been arrested by them, nobody has been imprisoned, they have imprisoned somebody in absentia, NDC should rather go and chase. They didn't imprison people even in their own party because for them, they see no wrong. There were a lot of investigation. But it all turned out not to be, it's ending up nowhere. We are seeing what happened in ECG. I just pray and hope that it looks like the case is dying. It will not die. There will be an investigation. And the perpetrator of this wicked act. We
spoke with the energy minister last week.
Would be punished.
He indicated that they're still on its investigation. I think it was a brief interview, so I'm not sure how far they have gone with this 200 ECG containers. But he indicated that they are still
a government at that time, and people could commit such crime, and yet nothing happened. So it means that for them, they see no wrong. They see nothing. I mean, everything is about whatever you can do and get something. So there was grabbing left and right, as if there was no tomorrow. And they did not see anything wrong. And that is why they never prosecuted their own. When there were evidence, you remember even the issue of Galamsey and the fact that why they could not fight Galamsey because the people who were supposed to fight Galamsey were right in the act. Professor Frepon Boating's report, what did they do with it? They kept it in a fridge to be frozen. At the end of the day, he became what? A victim of circumstance. They were not going after him. His own party was going after him because he came to spill their beans, He came to tell the truth that, look, we cannot fight Galamsey. We cannot pretend that we are fighting Galamsey when our own people are involved. And we had videos, voices. Who said what? Patini Hiansika. Today, the same people are saying that they didn't imprison anybody. They are clean people. Nobody can say that NPP are bad or the people have committed crime during their era because there's nobody jailed. We have seen somebody who is now in court, Edu Buahen, accused of diverting money to a private account. I know ECG, if they go and investigate, there will be more of such cases. Now it is coming up that even outside the country, people are diverting money into their private accounts. These are people who are saying that they see no wrong. And for that matter, nobody has been in prison. I can bet you that within these 4 years, I am not a prophet of doom, but people will go to jail for being wicked to Ghanaians. How on earth can you just go and offload cables that cost millions of dollars in bushes, uncompleted places, and then you come and tax the ordinary Ghanaian that we should pay more because we need more money? What kind of wickedness can this be? A government that cared for their own. And yet these people were this wicked to us. They sit here today and they say they have not jailed anybody because they did nothing wrong. People who went and mined in rivers, polluted water, that today you go to communities, they cannot get fresh water to drink. Today we are all eating poison. You are eating fufu and there's a lot of toxins in there. Mercury, cyanide, cadmium. We are eating it every day. And yet they tell us that they have not done anything wrong because they see no wrong. How on earth can people who are supposed to protect us are killing us slowly? You go to hospital, the record shows that the number of cases of kidney failure is going up. And these were the people in charge of affairs. How do you come today, sit on a national television and tell us that you were not jailed because you didn't do anything wrong? If Ghanaians will bear us witness, people should not go unpunished these 4 years for being wicked to us, for taking from us what is supposed to be for all of us. A few have become so rich within 8 years. And they see no wrong. Godfrey Dabe, whom she says, sorry is having inferiority complex because he feels that Dame is more brilliant than him. Was he not caught on tape trying to coerce somebody to victimize an innocent Ghanaian because he wanted a pound of flesh from that person? How can you say that such a person has not committed any crime? Telling somebody, go and lie so that we can imprison this person. I mean, that's unacceptable. And today he's being dragged to court for that misbehavior. So I think that, as I earlier on said, if anybody will cry, NPP should be the last because they did worse things. Ghanaians suffered. Can you imagine buying fuel at 23 cedis per liter? You will be in traffic and you are watching your gauge. You spend more than 40% of your salary on fuel. Food prices were rocketing. When we complained, the then Minister of Agric said it was the market women. Poor market women who were just struggling to survive. They were the cause of our problem. They increased the prices of food. And so he went to the hinterland as a mockery to the ministry to bring plantain to come and sell to the ordinary Ghanaian. And then you ask yourself, how many people went to the ministry then to buy plantain? Because for him, a bunch of plantain was selling for 5 cedis, and the market women were selling it 50 cedis. So he brought it to sell. How many people went there? Look, governance is not just about mathematical.